Thanks and welcome to join me. I'm Kejang Henry at 10:15. Let's flag off with our headlines. The Constitutional Council has flushed out all post-election petitions, dashing all hopes of reversing the presidential election result. None of the 10 files made it past the Lagos Coast region, now placing cautious hope in new leadership to end years of conflict and stagnation. An botched robbery attempt in Bamenda Northwest region ended in bloodshed this Wednesday as gendarmes shot and killed 2 suspected gang members in front of a microfinance institution. Those were our top stories. You're welcome to join me on the 6:15. You can reach us on our respective platforms on Canal International. We'll begin from Yaoundé, where hopes of reversing the presidential election results were dashed this Wednesday as the Constitutional Council threw out all the post-election petitions from legitimate candidates empty-handed.
A total of 10 appeals filed in by both disgruntled candidates of the October 12 presidential election and some other Cameroonians who felt dissatisfied with the electoral process examined and flushed out by the Constitutional Council within the space of about 2 hours 30 minutes. The lone female candidates in the presidential race, Patricia Tomaino Ndamjoya, and lawyers used over 1 hour 30 minutes to convince Clement Atangana and the council with evidence of numerous irregularities during the voting in polling stations across the country, demanding the total annulment of the results. Despite the energy to portray the alleged malpractices dished out by the CDU, the Constitutional Council judged it non-admissible for the non-respect of legal dispositions, especially with failure to highlight the sections and content of the demands in accordance with the Electoral Code. The verdict received with disappointment, as even the tears shedded couldn't influence the decision.
We have stated the law. And the law is clearly stated in our petition. My senior colleague referred the Constitutional Council to our petition. It was discovered that the law was cited. The Electoral Code is the code that guides this court and the Constitution.
Also before the council this Wednesday, October 22nd, were complainants like Daniel Befolo Esono, who filed a petition against Elekam, Minad and the CPDM requesting for the annulment of resort in Meyomesi subdivision. Same with Mba Ano and Beten Kisop, but all simply thrown out for lack of legitimacy. And even with the claims of being a messenger sent by God to file a petition on the cancellation of the October 12 elections, Clement Atangana didn't hesitate to show Pierre Nunkam the exit door of the council. Meantime, the appeals earlier deposited by Joshua Usi, candidates of the SDF, and Cabral Libil of the PCRN, but later withdrawn, were simply acknowledged by the Constitutional Council.
No, thanks very much, Hassan Chiro, with that report there. And post-election tensions brewing across the country, as in Garwa, the tensions have once again gripped the city or the capital city of the North region as young protesters actually clashed with security forces on Wednesday. Several major routes across the city were blocked as demonstrations flared up, though calm has since returned. Now, for how long will it last remains an uncertainty. The protesters, led mainly by young people, saw crowds marching with placards to express support for what they called their preferred candidate and demand justice for a young teacher recently shot dead under unclear circumstances. Neighborhoods such as Pumpure, Bimbere and Lidiri witnessed waves of protest activities, while security forces erected barricades to control movement and prevent potential violence. And as Garwa awaits the official results of the 2025 presidential election, the atmosphere remains tense. Local life has slowed significantly, with many markets and businesses temporarily shut down. Elsewhere in Marwa, the tension continues to escalate in the far north region of the country. Supporters of Isa Chiroma Bakari taken to the streets and, of course, rejecting the preliminary results of the October 12 presidential election. And the protesters claim the results were being released the results that were being released progressively do not reflect the actual outcome of the vote. And they insist that their candidate secured victory and demanding that the true results be published. Several parts of the city have witnessed gunfire and tear gas as both police and gendarmes struggle to disperse the crowd. Riot units have equally been deployed to restore order, but the situation remains highly volatile. Meanwhile, in Gaundere, that is in the Adamawa region, and of course, anxiety is still mounting over the delay of the results of the 12th October presidential election, as authorities are urging calm and amid the post-election unrest known as Cameroon's water tower. The city now finds itself in dire need of peace. And so in response to the problem, Adamawa Governor Kidadi Maidadi Buka today convened a high-level dialogue and security meeting, bringing together religious leaders, civil society representatives, and union officials to promote unity and defend or diffuse tensions. Now let's get an excerpt of the governor of the Adamawa region, Kidadi Buka.
It's the message of peace, and we have invited all the stakeholders to go to their various localities to preach peace, to tell the population, to ensure the population that the government of Cameroon is out to avoid chaos. We don't need chaos because we have many things to do. We want to go we want to do everything for our development. So any disorder can come and stop any ambition towards those very interesting goals. So I am particularly happy because people came in mass to follow the speech, to follow the message we have dished out. I do hope that the people will go back to inform also adequately the populations of Adamawa region. The Adamawa region should be in peace before, during, and after elections of 12 October.
The Adamawa Regional Governor Kidadi Buka talking there after holding consultation meetings with some stakeholders and active forces of that region. And in the aftermath of the presidential election, presidents of the southwest region of the country are placing cautious hope in a new leadership to end the conflict and stagnation in that part of the country. So many actually are saying that lasting peace is the only path to sustainable development in the region that has witnessed very enduring and prolonged uncertainty. Sharifa Saleh reports with chaos from Southwest correspondent Jama Richard.
The mood across the Southwest region is one of cautious optimism. Residents say they are praying for an outcome that will usher in a new era of progress and prosperity after years of challenges that have slowed growth and strained livelihoods.
And I pray for our nation about the result. We are praying because things are not moving the way we were expecting.
The Cameroonian, we are expecting our government to give us the right results that we all know, because we did our civic rights. Because we need a change. There are so many things that are happening which are not good.
The people's main aspiration, they say, is peace. Many believe that stability is the foundation upon which economic recovery and development can be built.
I want change in Cameroon. Yes. So the government, we are pleading for the government to read the real
safe.
For years, communities in the region have called for better infrastructure, more job opportunities, and improved access to essential services such as healthcare and education.
Things are getting bad. There's no money for us to buy. There's no money for children are not going to school because things are not working. People are working their salary. So we are begging, we are praying, because when there is God, is hope. We are going to have hope. So we depend on God to bring change in this our country.
Now, as the nation prepares for a potential change in leadership, there is a sense of renewed faith that these long-standing needs may finally be addressed.
Sherifa Saleh reporting there, and we move over to Bamenda, where elements of the Territorial Brigade of the National Gendarmerie that is in Tabesi in the Bamenda 3 subdivision have shot and killed 2 men this Wednesday. According to eyewitnesses, the muscular and healthy-looking boys were said to be part of a 5-man gang that attempted to rob a microfinance institution. Their plans were thwarted by onlookers who quickly alerted the gendarmes. The 3 others fled on board the 3 motorbikes on which they arrived to carry out the operations. The gendarmes, however, succeeded to get hold of the guns of the 2 scapegoats whose bodies were still lying in front of the microfinance institution at press time. And a massive fire has swept through the Nkongmondo neighborhood in Douala 2 subdivision today at 9 a.m. And the flames tore through the Nkongmondo and neighboring neighborhoods, as we get from you, Sherifa Saleh.
Bedouin, a refugee from the Democratic Republic of Congo living in Cameroon, is lost in his thoughts. He struggles to comprehend how everything he owned disappeared within minutes. There was no way to save some items. I have lost everything: my degrees, my important documents, children's uniforms and belongings. I don't know where to start from. According to eyewitnesses, the fire broke out around 9 a.m. and quickly spread through the densely packed houses near the Nkongmondo Government Primary School and Tre Marseillais. No loss in human life has been registered, but the material damages counts 11 houses, with all its contents and some important documents all gone. At least 1 person was injured in the blaze and was rushed to a nearby hospital for intensive care. Firefighters and residents battled the flames together, but most of the structures were completely destroyed before the fire was brought under control. The victims are now counting on authorities and humanitarian aid. Many, like Bedouin, had already fled hardship before losing their few possessions once again.
And we move over to the University of Douala, where empty classes or classrooms, fees and idle students are just the norm of the day at the University of Douala, as the Teachers Syndicate have grounded activities in that part of the institution, and they are asking for better working conditions and the payment of some of their allowances. Details with Sherifa.
It's a busy Wednesday on campus at the University of Douala, but inside the lecture hall, students sit all day with no lecturers showing up.
Non, depuis lundi, on n'a pas fait cours. Depuis lundi, aujourd'hui, c'est vraiment fatigant. On vient à l'école de 11h, 17h, assis là-bas, pas de...
According to students, the ongoing strike by lecturers under SINES is already having a serious impact on their academic progress. In a small group, SINES lecturers outlined their reasons for their strike action, citing the non-payment of academic debts and non-payment of second quarter allowances, among other long-standing grievances.
Due to the no payment of our academic debt, the academic debt is concerned by the no payment of the master and PhD defense, complementary hour, vacation, and some expertise since 21 hours is the reason why we are on strike. We are also asking for the payment of the second quarter of allowance. Many lecturers are still waiting for the payment of it, and also the third one, no one have received anything. We also received the message that some lecturers from the University of Bamenda, a very few of them receive a part of their academic debt, but it is very insignificant.
When asked how long the strike will last, the lecturers gave no clear date, but insisted that it will continue until their demands are met.
Till Monday 20 to 26th of October.
The calls on the government to urgently seek solutions to avoid further disruption to the academic calendar. It should be recalled that this strike comes just as the university students have resumed classes for the 2005-2006 academic year.
Thanks very much, Maureen D. And after 10 months of forced closure of the offices of the Central African Network of Human Rights Defenders, activities have finally resumed as the offices have been reopened for business. Once more, Maureen.
The offices of the Central African Network of Human Rights Defenders are once again open as staff officially resumed duty this Wednesday, October 22, after spending 10 months locked out due to administrative sealing.
As you may see it in the picture, we are back to our office, redact.
Despite a long hiatus, personnel returned with renewed commitment to the organization's mission defending human rights and preserving humanity. This reopening took place in the absence of the executive director, Elizabeth Ngombe. But the board chair, Aliscom, presided over the symbolic return.
The court had decided that this must stop and that we should go back home, go back on our service and continue our good job we started many years ago, many decades ago. As you may see, unfortunately.
Speaking about the 12th October presidential election and the post-election climate, Aliscom stressed that the Constitutional Council must respect the will of the Cameroonian people as expressed through the ballot. The council must stand for truth, she declared. She also called on citizens to remain calm and patient as the country awaits official results.
Expecting the results, the final results from the institutions like Conseil Constitutionnel, and try to be quiet, try to preserve the peace. But I cannot ask you this if I don't ask the government to respect the will of the population.
But once the Constitutional Council should say nothing but the truth.
Well, thanks very much, Maureen, joined the cuttings for this edition of the 6:15 with me, Kejang Henry Atembi, in which you got news that, well, the Constitutional Council has rejected all the petitions that were filed for the post-electoral litigations. Lee Piju is just right ahead with the brief, the actuality. Goodbye.